kitchen. Today it's my birthday, so I'm going to make a cake, and I'm going to make the one that is my most favourite in all the world, and this is a chocolate hazelnut mousse cake. I really hope you like it. Okay, we're going to begin by making a meringue. So in this bowl here I've got 4 egg whites, which I'm going to pop into my mixer, and I'm going to make these be soft peaks. Here we go. Okay, once we have soft, where's my sugar? Where's the sugar? 220 grams of sugar. I don't have it. 220 grams of sugar has disappeared from here. Oh no, that is it. Once you've got soft peaks going on, what we're going to do is add sugar a little bit at a time. Now this is 220 grams and I've put it in a sort of little jug so that I can just tip, because what you want to do is just put little bits in at a time, whisk it. I've got my mixer back to front today so that you can see what's going on in my bowl. And there we go. The last thing we're going to pop into this is 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. And I have here just 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Now I'm going to whisk this now, just making sure it's in stiff peaks. It's practically there now anyway. We have stiff peaks going on. Can you see where I've made a hole in my mat? I'm really disappointed. I'm just going to have to get another one, bite the bullet. It was tiny, now it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But then I do tend to do things on it that I shouldn't. Okay, in this bowl I've got ground hazelnuts. They're really quite fine. And what we're going to do is pop those into our meringue, and we're going to just fold that together. We do not want to be losing all of our beautiful light meringue mix. So just fold it until it's just together. Okay, there we go. So we've got it all spread out. Now I want my cake to be this sort of shape, and this is going to make 3 layers. Now you can use a round tin if that's what you want to do. I don't. I want to make mine like this. So it's easy for me to slice, and it certainly will go around the family. Okay, I've got my biggest scoop, and what I'm going to do is share this amongst my 3 bits of paper. Now if you can see, I've got a very slight gap in between these 2 because I don't want them to cook together. There we go. And all I'm going to do is divide this up between these. I might have to knock this down with my Maurice again in a minute. Now I'm trying to get them as even as I can, because I'm going to be layering. Oh my god, what a mess. I've got that everywhere. Look at me. Good job I'm not touching it. I'm going to start with this one. Now all I've got to do is spread this without sort of hitting the edges. It'll be easier to get out. So here we go. This doesn't need to be too thick, and turn it round if you need to. was my, my worry that I would be lifting the paper up. You want to try and get it as near as you can, because obviously you want these to fit together. Here we go. That is looking good. I've done this the best I can. Maybe a tad thinner in places than it is in other. But overall, I'm quite happy with that. So, I've got a little join between the two there, so I'm going to run my finger through there. Oh, very nice. Now this is going to go in the oven, a preheated oven, 160 degrees for 30 minutes. I'm going to turn it off, turn the oven off and leave them in. And then just open your oven door a tad and let them go completely cold in the oven. I'll see you when that's done. Well, my meringues are cooked. I have them at the moment with a tea towel stuffed in my little ninja oven, and they're cooling down. So while that's happening, I did have an accident actually while I was washing up. When I cut my onion up this morning, because I was prepping our dinner, I put a really sharp knife in the sink and I'd forgotten that I'd done it. And when I went to wash up, I put my hand in and picked up this knife. So I've now got 2 nice cuts on my finger, so I'm currently wearing plasters. Anyway, right, we're now going to make a mousse to go in our lovely meringues. So in here I have 200 grams of dark chocolate, which I've actually grated in my food processor. Okay, in this saucepan I've got 100 mils of whipping cream, and I'm just going to bring this to a simmer. I just want to see little bubbles around the edges, so I'm scalding this, I'm not boiling this at all. And what I'm going to do is pour it over my chocolate. So I'm going to try and heap it in the middle a bit, where I'm going to pour. And then I'm going to leave it to stand for 1 minute, and then I'm going to gently bring it together. Okay, that has just come to a simmer. So I'm going to let the base cool down a tad, because this is going to spit otherwise. Now I'm just going to pour it into my chocolate. And I'm going to leave that to stand for a moment. Right, I've left it to stand for a minute, so now I'm just going to mix it together, just so that it all melts down and it forms a sort of moussey like consistency. There we go. Next job. Right, I've got everything ready here to go. In this jug I've got 175 grams of whipping cream that I'm going to pour into my food mixer. And what I need to do is bring this to just very soft peaks. If you make stiff peaks, this will all split when you come to put it together. So, soft peaks. Okay, that's as much as we need. Can you see? That's just about hanging in there. Okay, now, chocolatey mousse here has cooled down. So, now what we want to do, I'm trying to move things around so you can see, is we're going to put this into the chocolate, and then we're going to just fold it in until it's blended. Now you just do a little at a time, because you don't want to lose the fluffiness from this. This is the point at which, if you over whip your cream, this will just separate. It won't go together. So please, err on the side of caution and use soft peaks. There we go. That's doing really well. So once you've got the first bit in, it's easier to put the rest in. You kind of sort of made a, you know, base for putting the rest in. Now that's already looking lovely. So here we go, another lot. And you just keep going until you've got all of this together. Right, once you've got all your cream in, you should be looking like this. Should be looking quite thick and wonderful. So I'm going to scrape it down. Now I'm going to pop this in the fridge for about half an hour. I'll see you when it's ready. Right, my meringues are all ready to go. On my hob over here, I've got 150 grams of dark chocolate that I'm melting over a bain-marie because we're going to use that in a moment. Now this is where it could get really hilarious. Ooh. Because I've got to get these meringues off the paper and onto the plate. So, without further ado, I'm going to go for this one first. Ooh. There we go. Ah, it's nearly gone. Now, my plate, it just isn't quite big enough, isn't that the way? So, don't break a tag, but that actually won't matter in the least little bit. Got a bit here that won't have gone underneath. Just go as good as you can. Right, I'm going to push that together. That's beautiful. Right, here we go. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is use some of this chocolate. I'm just going to take a spoonful and I'm just going to drip bits on. I don't want great big clumps of it because otherwise it's going to be really hard to eat and cut. There we go. Maybe a tad more. I want to save some for the top. And then each time I'm going to put this back on my bain-marie so that it continues to cook. Now this crack will never notice, but it would have been better had I have had a very much smaller, much flatter plate, clearly, because that looks terrible at the moment. As with a lot of my cooking, it all comes out right in the end. So bear with. This is my mousse. Look at that. Beautiful. That is great. Now, you can make this mousse, and while it's still not set, pop it into little glasses and pop a bit of cream around the top. And that is absolutely delicious. Now what I'm going to do is share this out. Bit big, that one. Going to blob it about on my cake, on my meringue, and we're going to fill that gap anyway, so who cares. Now we want to use half of this because we're only putting this in on 2 layers. So use about half. And I'm really seriously hoping the next one doesn't break so bad. Okay, now all I'm going to do is spread this around a little bit because I'm going to put another layer of meringue over this. Now it does look a bit of a mess at the moment, but I assure you it will look beautiful when it's finished. And nobody is going to notice. You really need quite a light hand with this, and I'm not very light-handed. You'll be amazed at how this comes out in a minute. You really will. Sometimes I make thicker meringue, but there we go. Right, so that's the first bit done. Now, you see why I did these the way I did. Because, here we go, we now need, oh, and I've got to be gentle with this. If I've done my measurements correctly, it should more or less fit. And I'm going to go really careful with this one. Oh, look. I've got my dodgy side down and my flat side up. And I don't care if this takes 10 minutes to do. I will not break this meringue. I'm not. Here we go. Might have cracked the edge a bit and I've got a bit of paper there. That's fine. Look at that. Very pleased with that one. Right, now we want our chocolate. So I'm taking it off my bain-marie. Going to give it a tiny stir because I want it to be runny, but you know what chocolate's like, if you over stir it. You could pipe this, would be a better idea to be honest, and I'm going to do that probably on the top. Again, just some little bits of melted chocolate. That gives you some really nice textures going on there. You don't need loads, just spread it out a bit, like that. Ooh. There we go. This makes quite a nice cake for Easter as well. So I'm quite relieved my birthday's at Easter, or thereabouts. Okay, now we're going to go with the mousse again. See if I can do this one better than I did last time. I'm going to really be generous with this here. Make sure that I get those edges that don't really sit right. There we go. I'm getting this all over my apron. It's absolutely covered. Look at it. I've got it everywhere. But this is part and parcel of one-handed cooking, is you do need to use your body, and sometimes you can get in a bit of a mess. Okay, I'm not wasting that because that is delicious. This time I'm going to try and make sure I cover my mistakes up. So I'm going to take a little bit off. Look how thick that mousse is. Absolutely no gelatin needed for this. So, pretty much vegetarian, isn't it? Right, get that round. I'm going to do my edges first because I want them to look a bit alright, you know. This will hide a multitude of sins. You might want to take a bit more time than I have, but obviously I'm making a video and I don't want to be here all day with it. Last layer. Oh. And I'm going to get really frightened for this. Now what I might do, I need to make sure that I don't get this all on the cake. Oh, there we go. I've got to pick it up. See, if you have two hands, this isn't a problem, is it? And I'm going to lay it onto there. I don't know if I measured this brilliantly, but it will do. Now this looks golden because of all the nuts. Oh, look at that. So we now got 3 layers of mousse and meringue. I've made such a mess everywhere. I really have. Right, now I'm going to try and pipe the last little bit of chocolate that I've got here, just to make it look a bit better on top than I've been doing. I'm going to try and get that in there as near as I can. Yep, there we go. Look at the state of me. I really need to wash my hands before I go any further, and I better do it pretty quick. Push that right down to the bottom. Right, just snip end off of this. And I'm going to try and make some whirly swirly pattern. Oh, my bag's split, would you believe? Isn't that the way? See? It's me trying not to waste a piping bag on chocolate. And actually, I really should. Oh my God, look at this. What a mess now. Okie dokie. Right. We need to do something about this. I've got me a little palette knife. And I'm just going to spread it round now. Look at that. What a mess. Now, I was really hoping this would look beautiful when I'd finished. But it will. It will still look good because we're not quite finished yet. Now, you could put cream on there, but I'm not going to. I think that's got enough naughtiness in it already. This is beautiful, served up with ice cream. Really beautiful. All I'm going to do now is I have some more hazelnuts that I've roughly chopped, and I'm going to put all over my chocolate. Now, it may not look too pretty to you, but I assure you that is an absolute delight to eat. Totally. Look at that. See? Doesn't look too shabby at all, does it? There we go. Right. I need to chill this for about half an hour. And then we'll do a taste test. Well, as you see, I've cut a piece off of my cake. It's my birthday and I'm entitled to have whatever I want today. So, this may not look quite professional, but don't forget we're doing this one-handed. And I don't think it's too shabby, actually. I think you could probably dish this up. My family would eat it all the same. I think it's wonderful because you've got this lovely mousse running all through this beautiful meringue. Oh look, that chocolate and meringue and mousse. Mmm. My birthday, can I have what I want? That meringue is delicious. Absolutely delicious. It's got those crunchy nuts through it, vanilla, which is giving it a beautiful colour. Well, I don't think that's too shabby at all. I am going to go and sit by the fire because I've done my washing up and I'm going to eat that. Lovely Easter cake. You might make a better job of it than I did. I find the hardest bit is putting the meringue on. I broke that bottom bit, but it really didn't matter, did it? And that mousse is absolutely to die for. Beautiful. Well, a lot went wrong today, but it all came out in the end. I hope you liked what you saw. Please like, share and subscribe to see me making more delicious, if not totally aesthetic, affordable food. Thank you for watching.